senior most journalist Shekhar Iyer joining us on the broadcast to talk about the spiritual significance and the expanse and the scale of Mahakumbh. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Shekhar, sir, over the years, how do you see this? I mean, it just cannot get bigger than this if you look at the trajectory of Mahakumbh and now the 2025 edition, from cutting edge AI technology to the fairground becoming more bigger and more, and the way Prime Minister described it, how it is something which defines every Indian. Your thoughts?
Thank you, Shakal. Indeed, this is it's a celestial event at one level, because that's the time when the sun ends Makar Rasi, and that is considered a very big. That's the beginning of Uttarayan. You know, there are two phases. One is Dakshayan and other is Uttarayan. Uttarayan is the start of the phase of, a lot of positive auspiciousness. And that is celebrated by way of this confluence or Sangam at Triveni. You opened this discussion by saying that nothing can get bigger than this.
Right.
In fact, it is getting bigger and bigger.
With every year, yes.
And this Kumbh is called Mahakumbh because it is held once in 12 years. The last Kumbh, which is Ardh Kumbh, was held in 2019, which is after 6 years.
Yeah.
So if you compare the devotees and the crowds that came to this place, in 2013, there were 150 million people. So you can imagine how the faith and belief drives people to come here, take a dip in those cold waters, because during this time of the year, it is very cold to take a dip. But then people get energized. And it's a question of an experience. And for this experience, the government of India, the government of Uttar Pradesh, the local administration make massive preparations. As the Prime Minister was mentioning, more than 15,000 sanitation workers are being deployed there. Because it's such a huge gathering, handling of the waste management. And also, in terms of, if you look at how economic activity is going to be speeded up there, at least 5,000 boatmen will be available there to take pilgrims for a good dip, little away from the banks. And similarly, there are tour operators, taxi wallahs, rickshaw wallahs, so many people. It's actually a fair, since time immemorial, during this part of the year, that is around January 14, 15, during Makar Sankranti, you have had what is called the Mahakumbh Mela. And this time being a Kumbh Mela, much more people are going to come. Prime Minister spoke about unity.
Right.
Unity of faith and confluence of all religious and spiritual leaders coming. And there's a good time for people to exchange, because there are several, on the banks itself, you will find several akhadas are there, different various religious denominations, they come. In fact, there is a cycle in which they go and have their snan also. There is a Shahi snan, and this goes on for 45 days, and it's a spectacle. And
yes.
And a lot of foreign tourists come here to watch this spectacle, Shakal.
Yeah. I was coming to that. The footfall clearly is expected to increase multifold, in fact, but the footfall of foreign visitors, devotees, and tourists, and the way the state government has pumped in, allocation of budget, extra budget, and the expanse, the wider ambit of its expanse.
Indeed, Shakal, because Kumbh Mela is an opportunity for the state government as well as the local administration and the centre to improve infrastructure. At least not less than 10 to 15, you have flyovers being built there. You have other facilities that are coming up to cope with this rush of people. So this infrastructure built up for this region, every time when a Kumbh is held, lot of things get refurbished, lot of things get repaired, so many things happen. So you can imagine, and also the fact, it's an administrative challenge to handle so many people coming here. And this time they have got app, you can download an app and you can get details about various things. And then there is, side by side, there is a Mela, in the sense there is a fair, where people come, local craftsmen, they come and display their wares, and there is a lot of commerce activity going on. And overall, it leaves a beautiful experience because people come there early in the morning, just at the crack of dawn. You can see people going and taking a dip, and then heading to the nearest temples there to offer their prayers. It's an experience. And every year during this time, that is during this Makara Sankranti, you have Sagar Mela also on the one of those islands of Bay of Bengal. Similarly, in other places, people take a dip during this period. This period, it's not simply cleansing of whatever, but it is more to do with the awakening of consciousness.
Okay.
That is how this festival is observed. It is to awaken your inner consciousness, your inner awareness, as this great Sanatan Dharma has been talking of. The entire universe is contained in you. The macrosum is in your microsum. So this particular Kumbh Mela signifies that the vast universe is also contained in you. In fact, the entire thing is contained in you, and you are in everything. That's a beautiful message. The central, I would call the central theme of this kind of grand spectacle.
This event also is believed to encapsulate the science of astronomy, the science of astrology, spirituality, various ritualistic traditions. If you could also share your thoughts on this and how it's now showcasing, especially under this regime from 19 now to 2024 edition, the showcasing of India's very cultural ethos, our traditions, our legacy. The Sanatan Dharma that you talked about.
Our sages, our mystics, our spiritual masters have considered this part of the year as a period where your inner awakening, this is a good opportunity for the inner awakening. The cosmos, the changes in the cosmos during this part of the year is believed to trigger a lot of internal changes if you become aware. Because on one side, you have what is called the external the religiosity that is involved with this festival. But at the same time, when you find all these yogis and mystics coming there, because for them, this is an opportunity to further enhance your awareness. And there is a lot of emphasis based on awakening. That awakening is not just awakening from sleep, but it's awakening from the level of consciousness to a higher level of consciousness. So this external, taking a dip, visiting temples, offering prayers on the external side. But on the internal side, this is a period where you can do great meditation, you can do great dhyan, and you can feel that oneness, the unity that the Prime Minister talked today, that the unity of all beings, the unity of all that is in existence. So it's such a beautiful.
What do you think has been, my final question, sir? Honorable Prime Minister spoke about. There were a lot that he spoke about as far as Mahakumbh is concerned, and the fact that the reiteration of how Mahakumbh is a Mahayagya of unity. What do you think was the larger message of the Prime Minister, especially pertaining to the Mahakumbh?
When the Prime Minister says it is Mahayagya, because what he means is when people from different walks of life, from different faiths, it's because Sanatan Dharma itself is considered to encompass all that the human mind has conceived this universe to be. Because the Sanatan Dharma is itself considered, it's not a one particular faith or one particular thing. This is a land of seekers, Shakal. We are not believers. This land is seekers. So many people have come and sought the ultimate experience. That ultimateness that has been sought by several spiritual seekers, and those who are on that path of seeking, when they come here to Prayagraj, and during this particular auspicious period, there is some kind of a grand awakening in each of these seekers. So when they come here, they discuss their experience. There are religious conferences on the side by side. There is a rendering of a lot of I would say a lot of religious discourse, spiritual discourse. Between them, there is a meeting of minds. Because people come from across, from north, south,
And the fact that Prime Minister chose to be there and review the preparations himself, I think that's something which speaks volumes of the kind of significance that the present dispensation accords to this Mahakumbh and the kind of massive infrastructural push that we have seen in terms of budget allocation, the way the Yogi government is going to curate 2025. You spoke about the 19 and how 2025 is going more bigger and better. Final word.
Yeah, indeed, because when you have such a large gathering of people, the administration, whether it is the state government or the central government or even the local administration, they are very keen that this experience of visiting Triveni Sangam is a spiritual experience without the hassles of, when so many people gather there. See, when crowds gather there, there is a need to monitor the crowds. There is a need to ensure that there is no untoward incident. There is no, because normally when there are people gathered, there is always a fear that this could lead to some kind of an stampede. And
right.
Like, so these have to be managed. And also, many people go missing. Children particularly go missing during such a gathering. So the local administration makes very special efforts. Therefore, in terms of human management, it's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. Nowhere in the world you find 150 million people, gathering on the banks of a river. And it is called Sangam because it's not only the confluence of river Ganga and Yamuna, but also the mystical river called Saraswati.
It is also, in fact, pitched as the most secure Kumbh Mela historically. The kind of security apparatus that has been put in place for 2025 Kumbh Mela, from placing at least 10,000 extra, security personnel and around 20 high-tech drones in Prayagraj and more. Shekhar sir, that's all we have time for in this edition of NewsNight. Thank you so much for talking to us and discussing the significance of Mahakumbh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.